So do I look beautiful?
You look fantastic.
Thank you.
That's
I've
right.
got that. Can I have that?
You can have that.
Can I have that?
Welcome to the first of our Shadowspear adventures. We recorded this a couple of weeks ago, as promised. We did. But there were some technical difficulties with the filming and with the audio that we had. It's all been a learning experience from beginning to end. So me and Michael have had to sit down, looked at the original footage, and we've decided to release it in its original form. Partly to show the development of the channel and the videos, and yeah, we're learning as we go with this. This is the first time we've done anything like this. So yeah, enjoy the video as it is. Thank you very much for watching.
We'll see you shortly.
Yeah. We're going to walk through the campaigns now. So we're going to do the first mission today. We've actually just done the first mission. I just want to make that clear now. We did that to make sure that we have a good idea of how the mission works, so that we can explain it to you in better detail. First I'll explain how the campaign in general, the overarching campaign works. So we're doing this with what they call historic forces, I believe. So we're going split, so this is in the main book. We're going with the historic forces, which is everything that's in the box, and there's specifications at the beginning of each mission for what you use when you're using the historic missions. So the campaign works as a campaign tree. So we start with the mission Behind Enemy Lines, which is the mission we're going to be playing today, and then depending on who wins, the mission changes.
Yes.
So eventually, if you have a win and a loss, you end up doing the same mission, but you can sort of tree off in a manner that, from what I can tell, is negative to the person who's winning. So it sort of curves back towards a level playing field. So even if you have a disparity between the two players, it curves you back towards the centre.
Good system.
Which is good game design. Yeah, that's very good game design.
What you don't want is a snowball.
No, what you don't want is the kind of mission we just played. So we will explain Behind Enemy Lines. Behind Enemy Lines is a sneaky mission for the sneaky Marines, which is a good start, whereby you are attempting to get a collection of models off of my battlefield edge in this match. So I won't explain everything in utter detail, but the historic forces that we were allowed this game was that you had a captain in Phobos armor and a unit of infiltrators. A 10-man unit of infiltrators, including the Helix Adept to heal. Helix Adept can heal, but he can't revive.
And I think that was important because this Victory Conditions is about getting models off the table.
Very much so, yes.
Yeah.
Notably, the movement that you can do in this and the setup is individual models. It's not units. So you don't have to get a whole unit piled off the other side of the battlefield, and it's not like you get those 10 off the battlefield and then the captain's wobbling around behind them trying to catch up kind of thing. So every model's individual, which is very important to this mission. The deployment zone is very interesting in that you've got, it's about a 2.5-3 inch slither off the edge of the battlefield, and I've got basically the entire battlefield. I've got 30 inches from my table edge to set up. So it's a bunch of individual models sort of patrolling the area, or bimbling.
I think bimbling, if those are patrol routes, then I'm quite impressed with that.
So you start with the defender setting up. The defender in this case is the Chaos Space Marine Force, the patrollers, not the patrollees. Then you alternate setting up model by model as you go. So a Chaos Space Marine sets up, and then a Space Marine sets up, and etc. etc. The Chaos Space Marine player runs out a little earlier because we've got a few more models than me.
And it's quite important that counter-deploying fit is to stop you just being able to blob all up on one side. And just run through a huge hole. Which
wouldn't make a hugely fun mission because you'd have to the Chaos Space Marine player would have to set up first and spread out. You couldn't plan where they were going to go, and you'd have to, as is kind of what happened in the battle, you're going to try and go up one edge.
Yes.
So you just set up in one corner and you'd go straight out.
Through a gap.
All through a gap, So I'll explain why in a second. I was going to say something, but it doesn't make any sense yet. So I have everything except the Toxin Crawler, whatever it's called.
The Venom Crawler.
Venom Crawler, thank you. Everything except the Venom Crawler. So I've got the Master Possession, the 2 Greater Possessed, and the Obliterators, as well as the whole unit of 10 Chaos Space Marines, but they're set up in reserve. So at the end of any turn, they can come in as long as the alarm has been raised, and D6 of them come in. There is a command point which increases that, and I will explain that momentarily. We just realised that the music was on in the background, so hopefully that doesn't cause any problems. We're going to continue like that didn't happen.
Yes.
And hopefully we won't get any issues. So, where was I? First turn is the attacker choosing who has the first turn. So, Michael, what was going through your mind when you were choosing?
So this was a difficult decision, believe it or not. I mean, in 40k, you want to go first. And then when Chapter Approved came around with the whole deployment rules, and you thought, maybe I want to go second.
Yeah.
Well, then with this, I was just like, I don't know whether I want to go first or go second. So what went through my mind was, in an ideal world, if you went first, the way that the patrol roles work, the only guys that I worried about might have bimbled off into a different direction, and then it would just be really easy for me.
Yeah.
But then I thought to myself, that's as likely as it to get worse, and I just need to get as far up that table as possible, as quickly as possible. I expected the mission, just mouth hammering it, to play out. I'd have to fight for 2 or 3 turns whilst running to a board edge, and a few guys would get caught in melee. That's how I expected it to play out. So just move first and just bite the bullet.
Notably, the mission doesn't have a game length. The game just keeps on rolling and rolling and rolling until you have no models left, is the verbiage there.
Yeah.
The attacker has no models left on the battlefield. So, just sprinting up the battlefield, choose an edge and go for it. Just go for that line at the end is probably the best tactic that you have in this mission.
I mean, I had to get 39 inches.
Yes, it's a long way.
Without you spotting me.
Yeah.
I really didn't think it was possible before we started.
Well, you're moving some models 12 inches a turn.
Yes.
So by turn 5, we were confident we knew what was happening at this point.
Yes.
So let's go into the sentries. So the sentries are the defender's movement phase. The defender moves randomly.
Yes.
So you
Very
roll
randomly.
Each person rolls a d6, and whoever wins gets to move the model. Essentially, if you draw, they just stand still. So as the defender, I'm not in a great position there because there is a higher likelihood of something that I don't want happening than something I do want happening, which is me going towards you.
Because on evens it stands still.
Yes.
And it's per model, and we did use some command points there.
We did
because those was quite important.
Yeah, definitely felt very important.
Probably haven't pointed out, and I think it's worth knowing. We've talked about being spotted by models. It's not actually the model having line of sight.
Oh,
that would have been a very different game. He actually had to get within 3 inches of a model.
Yeah, wandering around in the dark trying to find you
in a really dark.
That can be increased by a stratagem, which I will explain now. Let's move on to stratagems. So, the stratagems are... you've got 2 stratagems, I've got 2 stratagems, which are specific to this mission. I will go through the attack stratagems, the phobos stratagems first. So one of them is silenced weapons, which is 1 command point. Use this stratagem when one of your units makes a shooting attack, immediately before the attack is resolved. The alarm is only raised if the target is hit but not slain by the attack. So if you miss, nothing happens. If you kill me, nothing happens. If you hit and then don't kill me, then the alarm is raised.
Yeah.
So
the most likely result of those models taking a shot at a Chaos Space Marine in cover is that he's hit but not killed.
Yeah, because of the 3 plus armor save and the -1 AP doesn't matter.
2 armor save.
Yeah,
in cover.
You've got -1 on the. The most likely model to be firing would be the captain.
So he might be a -2 even.
Might even be a -2.
But that's still a 50% chance of saving.
It is. It's not great, especially when I have command points as well.
And
you
you
re-roll that 3 plus armor save that I have in cover.
Yeah.
4
So
plus armor save.
that just felt like
There was a point where I thought you probably should have used it, but you weren't
the risk
confident.
reward.
Yeah, it wasn't great. So the 2 command point stratagem that you have is at the end of the movement phase. If one of your models is within spotting range of a sentry, roll a d6. On a 4 plus, the sentry fails to spot your model in this phase. Initially, I was very sure that the Chaos were going to have this mission, and that it was very likely that it was going to win. But the more I read about this mission, the more I think the Space Marines have a darn good chance of getting through this.
I think that the way the game went, it was unlikely to go that way the first time you play it. I think certain things happened in our case,
which we'll talk about in a
which
minute.
we'll talk about in a minute, and you'll see in the playthrough.
Yeah.
That you wouldn't necessarily have expected. This stratagem is all but useless. This stratagem is only really useful in turn 1.
Right.
Because that's 2. You only have 4 command points. It's fixed. You get 4 command points in this mission. You have 4 command points. You can reroll any dice in the game for 1 command point.
Yeah.
This is 2 for a 4-up after you've failed.
Yeah.
Almost certainly you are better off re-rolling the dice to move that model.
That's very true. That's very true.
There's some circumstances, maybe on turn 2 you've still got the command points unused, and you can do both of those things.
Yeah.
But odds are you're better off rolling the dice for control of the model.
That's true. Yeah, very true. Let's go on to the Chaos Space Marine stratagems. So a single command point. Use this stratagem at the start of your movement phase. Choose one of your sentry models until the end of your phase. That model's spotting range is 6 inches. I did use this. It seemed like a good time to use it when I did, and it didn't work out, but I feel confident that was still the right thing to do. It's a good command point usage.
I think so. This sounds better than it is. The problem is you have to do this before you know whether you've got control over that model. Yeah. And it's only one model and you have to pre-pick it.
The whole thing's 50-50 anyway.
Yes.
Yeah, I like
this game is astonishingly random. This mission.
Yes, this mission specifically, yeah. So, 1 CP, they knew we were coming. Use the stratagem at the end of your first movement phase after the alarm has been raised. So we did that wrong. If the alarm
I completely
is raised,
misunderstood this. I just saw the end of the first movement phase and stressed to James how much he needed to allocate the command point for that at the beginning.
Let's ignore that. So use this stratagem at the end of your first movement phase after the alarm has been raised. So only first turn and only if the alarm has been raised on that turn. No, sorry. The first turn after the alarm has been raised. Okay, cool. That was how I read it. I was convinced otherwise.
Not how I read it.
That's fine.
And I feel like an idiot now.
Do not roll to see how many models arrive as reinforcements this turn. Instead, 6 models arrive as reinforcements this turn. So on the turn that the alarm is raised, spend a command point. There you go. You're always going to save a command point for that because every model turns up. You've got 5 models in reserve. They're all turning up.
But they're not just 5 models. You've got 10 Space Marine, Chaos Space Marines on the table. You've got 2 Obliterators, 2 Greater Possessed, and a Wizard waiting to come in reserves.
These models, I think, are the key models in that case.
Absolutely.
Because they will just blow a few Space Marines away the moment they turn up.
They're going to come in a deep strike equivalent, 9 inches away from me and within 6 inches of a table edge. And they're going to fire.
Yeah, they're going to blow something
And they're going
up.
to kill Marines.
If you lose 3 Marines, your odds have started diving already.
Yes, because the victory conditions, which we'll come on to in a second, are also super random.
Yep. So let's go into the victory conditions. Notable additional rule in this game is that the attacker's models can move off the battlefield edge. I mean, I think we've explained that already, but you move directly off the battlefield edge, and that is how a model can be off the table for the battle lengths condition in itself. Once the alarm's been raised, the defender can set up D6 models from their army at the end of the movement phase, so that can be increased to 6 with They Knew We Were Coming, the stratagem there. They can be, as you said, no closer than... that's the wrong way to put that. Wholly within 6 inches of the battlefield edge and more than 9 inches from any enemy models. There we go. So that's D6 or 6. Is that every turn? No, that's once the alarm's been raised that turn. So a one-time thing, D6/probably 6 models are going to turn up. I would save a command point for that. That command point would be,
and it's murderous.
Yeah, that would be untouched.
I mean, without those models, without those 6, I think the Space Marines could fight because they've got 10 Marines and a captain.
Yeah,
and these are Primaris Marines rather than Chaos Marines.
2 wound, strong boys.
If you don't know that those Obliterators are coming, you could fight it out.
Yeah, you only have to roll a 2 for these guys to turn up.
Yeah, well, one of them comes on guaranteed, and that's the problem.
That's pretty powerful already, okay. So at the end of the battle, the attacker rolls a d6 and adds the number of models that have infiltrated past enemy lines to the score. So adding to the randomness of this game, you still roll a dice at the end of the game. So if you did fantastically and you managed to sneak 5 models off the other side of the battlefield, you still need to get a result of a 10 or more.
Yeah, so if get 5 medals off, you only win on a 5 or a 6.
Yeah, you've got a 1/3 chance of winning on a dice if you've done pretty well and managed to get 5 of your 11 models.
Can't afford to be spied, but you don't have a great deal of control over it. It's all random. We worked out. I needed to get 9 models off to guarantee a win.
To be confident, yeah. To guarantee a win, yeah.
Guarantee a win is 9 models off.
Let's talk about our opinion on this mission. Let's go to that next. So yeah, I'll go over it really quickly. Basically, I'm the Chaos Space Marines are bimbling around trying to find you. It's random movement, it's random dice rolls, it's stratagems that are more useful for me than they are for you. But I think if you don't get seen, you have a huge chance of winning.
Yes. But the chance that I've got, I mean, we played through that mission, and for 3 or 4 turns, you've got 1 or 2 models on which a decisive roll for who controls that model is made time after time.
Yeah.
And we both put command points into that roll.
Yeah.
We completed that mission without firing a shot.
Not once.
Not once.
That's my great
There was times. Well, certainly by the time we hit turn 3, I thought, this just needs to end. I had a plan going into that. So I suppose we can talk about our plan.
Let's talk about our plan.
What was our plan?
My plan was to try and win a 50-50 roll and maybe get near you.
Yeah, that's a good plan.
That wasn't my plan.
Okay.
That was what this
that was
told
the
me
plan
to do.
that it gave
I didn't
you.
have a plan because I couldn't start planning until the mission had allowed me to take part in the game I was playing.
So my plan, having read this, I looked at it and thought, okay, so what I want to try and do is I'm going to split my Marines up into 2 groups so that you can't concentrate. When you get control of a model, you are torn between whether you want to move it left or right.
Yes.
Yeah? Because what you're not going to win by doing is putting them all in the middle. So you're going to have to make a choice about whether going left or right. And I'm hoping that one group can escape and one group can fight some models.
Yeah, an even spread is pretty key for my deployment.
Yes.
Regardless of how you deploy, I need to catch someone.
As soon as you catch someone, everyone wakes up. Absolutely. And as soon as you tag some of my guys in combat, and all of your models have got power armor, they're not going to die to my knives very easily. So that's going to make it really difficult for me to then move. The obliterators are going to then start chewing through a few models. So my game plan was breaking up into 2 groups as best as possible, and to try and have one group hole up in one of the buildings, and to choose the moment the fight starts.
Okay.
My master plan on the right hand side, I was thinking, these guys are going to start shooting when I get to that building. I'm going to charge in and try and take some guys out with combat, because if I can knife them, if I knife them, it doesn't wake you up.
Yeah. Okay, yeah.
But nobody's got a melee weapon here, and you've got a 3-up save.
Yeah.
But if I throw a load of guys onto 1 or 2 guys, I might or might not wake you up. But broadly speaking, that's going to trigger the fight. But I'm 2/3 the way over the board with a strong fighting element, and in cover, and the other group should be fairly free to just run off the board, because you don't want to split your reinforcements.
No.
It was totally unnecessary. All the kind of thinking, because when you set up the camera and stuff, I was like, how the heck am I going to do this? I can't imagine the alarm not being raised by turn 3 with the way this seems to work. But what actually happened?
Spoilers.
We roll for the Warlord trait.
Yeah.
I get to redeploy 3 units after we spread them out.
Yeah.
And suddenly, the game is easy for me.
Yeah. That was pretty pivotal. I still stood a pretty good chance. There were a couple of rolls there that just didn't go in my direction as much as I hoped that they had. I stood a good chance of, because all of your guys were in the same place, this lot turning up was brutal. When they did turn up, it was going to be horrible for you.
Yes.
It was whether or not you got caught on your way through. And there were both the models that needed to go in the right direction at one point went in the wrong direction.
Yes.
Both of them did. And it didn't matter if I rolled the dice or not.
And that's 2 turns then, isn't it? Once you've gone that way for 1 turn,
It was pretty well literally like, you're shooting up one side of the table, this guy went, oh, no, there's nothing over there, came back and went back again. And then you moved further up the table and this guy also did the exact same thing, and that was that.
And that's where my command points went. On those rolls.
Yes.
The tragic part about all of this, you had no agency.
No, I didn't feel like I ever had any agency in that at all. I could choose where to go once I had rolled a dice, but that's not what I play Warhammer for.
No.
I rolled the dice to see how well I did, not whether or not I did.
This this was a kill team mission squeezed into 40k.
Yeah.
Without the complexities that a kill team or a Necromunda mission, a Necromunda mission with this kind of sentry stuff,
right?
You'd probably have a table that you rolled on that says, okay, you move close to the enemy, or you light a cigarette or something. It needed more so that you felt even when you weren't getting something useful, you were in control of it.
Yeah.
The dicing off against me, I think, and that I could spend command points on that rather than it being you control the amount of control you have.
Yeah.
I felt I wouldn't have wanted to play that game. This could have been solo, simply saying if you roll 5 or 6, they move towards you, and if you roll 1 to 3, they move away from you. It could have been a solo mission. And actually, now that I'm thinking about it, that isn't that different from what happened at all.
Not really. No. We did roll off against each other. We did move my models.
Yeah.
Sometimes in the right direction, sometimes not, and I never caught you. Which for a storyline, I think is fantastic.
We crept our way through.
Yeah. For this as a narrative campaign, I quite enjoyed that happened. However, I'm not playing a movie. I'm playing Warhammer 40,000, again, where I enjoy putting down some DACA and rolling some dice against someone. I didn't roll a dice against you. I rolled a dice with you, and it didn't.
But the board edge thing. The game, there's something wrong with the game when the game is for an entire army to crawl up a board edge.
Yeah.
There's more world beyond this board edge.
Yeah.
There's something gone mechanically very wrong with the game. You got a half, the table clearly needed to be wider, or the model count needed to be lower, but just that whole system.
Yeah.
To be fair, so what's this mission for? And what does that say about the rest of the missions potentially in here?
Yeah.
If I was 13, it was my birthday and I just got this box, and you're my best mate, and we just glued this stuff together into our hands, I wouldn't have approached this mission. And with the kind of, I don't want to sound cocky, but with the sort of sophisticated, how will this play out? I would have spread my men out, or grouped them together, and there would have been a fight.
Yeah.
That would have happened.
A better version of this mission, if I were to design it, would be infinitely improved by having my deployment further back from the centre of the table. So I've got half the table, 24 inches normally, of the table, and you've got like a 9-inch bubble from the centre of the table where you can deploy in that section.
I'm trying to get off.
Yeah.
I'm trying to break out.
You've I don't know, you've drop podded in or something, and you've got a small section where you're like a little bit in the middle of the table where you've got an 18-inch line here and then a big 9-inch bubble around you, and you've got to try and leave the table. And I've got a chart which increases my chances, not allows me to do something. So like my models stand still unless I go on a chart, and the chart's chances of happening increase each turn, and increase if you have an enemy model within 12 inches, you get a +1 on a dice roll, and if you roll a 6+, then you've spotted them.
Yeah.
And the deployments don't, this doesn't happen. I think that would be a better mission. Because I can destroy enough of your models to make your chances really low, just with an autocannon, a plasma gun, and a guy with a chain axe.
Yes.
I think
without those you're not going to win, but you don't have to win.
I don't have to win to stop you from winning.
Once you kill 3 models, it's then a chance.
Yeah.
Could you kill 3 models with 10 chaos wins? Absolutely.
100%.
Yeah.
So
Absolutely.
in a more level mission, even if it was like an obliterator is already on the table. Like I've got 10 models plus an obliterator, and once I've spotted you. But you can play with the angles, and you've got a more tactical game where you're trying to keep out of line of sight, rather than like if you've got line of sight, then it's a +1 as long as the model's within 12 inches.
And if you made some changes to how it worked, these could have been in 3 groups of 3 or 4 groups of 3 rather than individuals. But I think from a storytelling perspective, because this is the librarian in me now, and this is narrative missions we're talking about, this is one of the things I'm really interested in is short stories and how short stories work. What short stories do is they crop the story and just focus on the bit that's interesting.
Yeah.
And I think this mission has, these guys are creeping through the jungle at night or whatever, and then they might get spotted. So, okay, but for action gameplay, that isn't the interesting bit.
Yeah.
The interesting bit is the moment they get spotted,
Yes.
start the mission there. Maybe start the mission at 2 minutes to there.
Yeah.
You deploy here, say next turn they all wake up, because in the story you just knifed the sentry and he's made a knot. Whatever you do, you say this is about to kick off.
Yeah.
Now you've got to race to the finish and you're going to have to fight your way through. You can still have the randomness in that allows for some replayability and fun, but the actual creeping bit, go play D&D or watch Rambo, but that's not what I want from my war game, from my battle gaming. I want to do the fighting bit.
Yes, I want a war or a battle.
I want a
gaming or battle gaming.
I don't want to be sat there thinking, I should probably not shoot this guy because that's going to make me lose the mission.
Yeah. Yep.
So we sound like we're really down on it. I mean, we're time to give these a go.
This was good fun. I still enjoyed this game. I like any Warhammer 40,000 game that lasts less than an hour.
Yes.
Because it was done quite quickly, and I don't mean that in a bad way. I love 10,000 point battles that take 12 hours and you have to come back tomorrow.
I don't.
No, I do love those battles. I like sitting around with 10 people and having some dominoes with your titans on the table.
I was going to say,
that kind of game.
Then you have a pizza and a stomper. You're just like, let me know when it's my turn to roll some dice.
Yeah, I need a stomper with a chef's hat so that you can hold the pizza for me while I'm moving it down the table.
That's the way to go with that.
It is. So I enjoy those kind of games, but that's a different thing than I'm experiencing, for instance, when I'm in the shop. I want a game that's a couple hours long, and I've had some fun with somebody, and a bit of banter and a bit of fun, and you got 1,000 points worth of the game done. That isn't what I felt like happened here, and I don't mean that in a negative way. This isn't my kind of mission, and I feel like it could have been done better. And I've been playing Warhammer for a long time, and I've accumulated information over the years where I feel like I could have made a better mission than this.
Definitely.
Just with that mechanic, like if something's within a certain distance, there's a chart with like 3 modifiers plus, 2 modifiers minus, as to whether or not you get spotted, and that's it. You got to roll a 6.
But as an experiment, we did an experiment. We can tell everybody quite comfortably, don't try and play this mission tactically. The potential play in this is to just go at this with a few beers in you, not try and hide, and just try and fight your way through. Just go full on Rambo. I think you'll lose.
You will lose hard.
But if you go at it like that, maybe when we get to the end of this sequence we'll give it a go. But we might end up saying that about all of the missions.
Yeah, it's true.
But I think that's the game a couple of kids would have. If you wanted to learn tactics, this might not be bad as well. Anyway,
I'm very tempted to redesign this mission in my own form. And then we play that mission, because I really feel like this is a great idea, and I feel like they've both dumbed it down and overcomplicated it at the same time.
Yes. There were lots of conditions on which I could be spotted, which we didn't go into.
We didn't.
They basically said if I do something that you shouldn't do when you're trying to creep around, I'll get spotted.
If you do that unsuccessfully,
then
you'll get spotted. Which is cool. But again, that could have been summed up by a chart that had about 12 words in there. That would have been perfect.
So what that means, though, is next time. Are we going to say next week, James?
It will be recorded next week. I'm not sure when it will be up. There might need to be a little filler video in the middle because it's going to be a busy couple of weeks. We have a Space Marine success, so we will be playing the mission Target of Opportunity. So we'll have a very, very, very quick look at what that does.
So this is the one where I think we're trying to ambush the Venom Crawler.
Yeah, I have a Venom Crawler.
I get 10 dudes.
You've got 10 infiltrators, the infiltrators that you used today.
I love the painting for next week then.
Each player starts with 3 command points, and you try and kill it. Wow, okay. I haven't spotted that before. There's rules for how to play this game solo.
This particular mission
could be played on your own.
They felt that the previous one doesn't have those. I think it definitely could have done.
Yeah, you could have played that mission solo. Okay, cool. So
this,
looking forward to that.
This would be an interesting math hammer.
Yeah.
I think we could sit down and say, with that auto wound on sexist business that they've got, how likely is it that this Venom Crawler dies?
Yeah.
We could then play it out and discover that math hammer doesn't mean anything.
And it lasts 10 rounds.
10 rounds.
It's a long mission.
Yeah, but I think it's got to try and make value out of the low model count.
Yeah.
If you just have a straight up fight with these guys.
There was a 2x2 board.
2x2?
2 foot by 2 foot, so 24 inches by 24 inches.
Really?
Yeah, it's a very small board, and it's specifically sized. A 2 foot by 2 foot board.
You're going to be munching on me in turn 1.
I am the defender. Am I defender or attacker? Sorry. Yeah, it's the first time I've read this. Sets up their model centered on the position shown in the deployment map below. A single Heretic Astartes Hellbrute or Demon Engine model. Oh, I could set up whatever the hell I like if I wasn't playing this. That's pretty cool. Mauler Fiend. And their army consists of a single infantry model.
Helldrake.
Each. The defender is chaos. So my army consists of a venom crawler. I put mine centered. So I'm in the middle of the battlefield. Yeah, I'm attacking you pretty much turn 1. It's whether or not you can get out of the way. I suppose.
Yeah, I think this is a shoot and scoop.
Yeah, this is, isn't it? Okay, well, we'll be playing that mission very soon. Hopefully next week. It should be next week. And that's that. Thank you very much.
Thank you. So, let's do it.
Let's do it. Let's have fun.
So here we're looking at the Vanguard Marines and the starting with the Captain in Phobos armour as he's listed on the data sheet. As you can see, I got most of the painting done. Notably, then we look at the Vanguard Marines and the Infiltrator Squad. Got these guys painted up in a rush, but I think that they're going to be okay.
Yeah, they look great. They look really good. Especially the yellow cowling. So we've got the Chaos Space Marine Squad with the autocannon and at the time the missing plasma gun. Because it's in my bag now. The backup squads there are the 2 Great Possessed at the back. We've got the Master of Possession and the pair of Obliterators as well.
But only the Chaos Space Marine Squad starts on the table.
Yeah, as we can see from the setup that we're doing at the moment. So we're having a chat about it. Michael's just sort of working out what the deployment zones are and placing his first model.
It's because we used that moon-based Clausus set and it's not quite 6x4, so we had to adjust the deployment a bit.
Yeah. We continue deploying. I'm trying to spread my forces out as much as possible because at this point I don't know Michael's plan. I don't know what he's going to do, so I'm just trying to keep myself spread. It seems like a good idea, almost in any mission where you don't know where the enemy's deploying, to sort of spread out as best you can, but put the autocannon in a good spot.
So what I'm trying to do is, at this point, is to keep James guessing about how I'm going to deploy.
Yeah.
Because I've actually read the mission, and I know that I'm going to deploy quite a few models after he's finished deploying. So I'm looking to blob them up at one end or the other, depending on how James deploys.
Whereas because I don't know anything about that, I'm basically trying to hide the special weapons, but in places they can see, and get the close combat guys as close as I can to your deployment. Which in this case is actually quite close. You can deploy quite close, as you can see there.
Yes.
I'm only about 9 inches away from the edge of your board, so it's very close.
Yeah, but the deployment doesn't seem as close as that, but it's because of the advanced deployment of the infiltrators, you end up being very close.
Nearly there. Last couple of models.
Nearly.
So I'm placing, that was my sergeant of the squad, and I'm done now, so you're just placing the last of your models. And here you're having a chat with me telling me that this is basically your plan all along, that you're going to deploy on both sides.
Absolutely. And then we haven't generated warlord traits yet, and that's going to turn out to be really significant, isn't it?
In this game we decided that because I don't have a character model, I didn't have a warlord, whereas you did get a warlord trait. We were thinking you weren't going to do particularly well, and then you rolled, what warlord trait was it again?
Oh gosh, I forget what it's called, but I'm allowed to move up to 3 models.
A redeploy.
A redeploy. Yeah. So I take the guys from one end of the table and shove them all up together, and suddenly this mission looks like it could be a cakewalk.
Yeah. It's very difficult from this point onwards. You're just advancing people up.
Yeah.
So Michael first turn is mostly advancing at this point, because you just need to get to the other side of the table as quickly as possible.
I do make a mistake here though, because of inconsistency. You'll see I've not moved the captain. I'm worried about 1 Chaos Space Marine here, and I'm trying to keep everybody outside of his movement plus spotting range.
Yeah.
But I've got a 1 guy straggling at the back, and I've not moved my captain because there's a stratagem that's going to let me take a shot, and if I kill with this shot, which is why I'm
Silenced Weapons is the name of the stratagem.
If I kill, it doesn't raise the alarm. But I realise that this is a weapon. The odds of me failing are too high.
Yeah, you don't have a special weapon of any sort. So now we have to start rolling. We have to start rolling to see who gets to choose where the Chaos Space Marines move to.
And it's a one model at a time roll off thing. And it ends up being quite tedious. At this point we realise there's no real agency for you in the game.
No.
You're just doing what the dice dictate.
Yeah. Until a combat ensues, until the alarms have been raised, I'm not really doing anything. It felt like for a lot of this game I wasn't really playing Warhammer 40,000. I was a human random number generator that sometimes didn't even get to generate my own numbers.
Yes. Yes.
So,
although this dice off turned out to be so important, there was a lot. So this is me using my first command point to try and win this. And of course, you roll a low number, you re-roll with the command point, you get worse.
You roll an even lower number.
Yeah, absolutely.
As you can see, this does take quite a long time. This is 3 times speed, and yeah, we're still taking quite a long time to get through this.
I don't think we filmed all the dice after the first round.
We didn't, no.
Because and really, and you know, this is the game.
It is, yes.
How it plays out. This is the game.
So this is turn 1. We decided to film everything for turn 1 because we hadn't decided that was a really boring thing to do or watch yet. And we're 3 minutes from the end of this little section of the battle report. From the battle report as a whole, and all you've seen so far is just dice rolling. And kind of tells you how much of the game is just dice rolling.
Spoilers here. That doesn't change.
No.
The significant thing that has happened there, though, well, my captain was further back, but I did roll a 6 on his advanced roll, which makes a big difference again to how this mission will play out. I recover from the mistake of the previous round.
Yeah.
And again,
an issue you had with this whole game. The only issue you really had with this game was that your troops kept clustering up.
Yeah, so I can't quite, because I'm advancing every turn, I can't, they get in each other's way.
You can't get further into the board, because there's far more likelihood of getting caught. But you can't get further up the board, because there's a model in your way the whole time.
Yeah.
This is where, this is the one where we both decided to re-roll, because we got a fat matched 5.
Yes.
So we both rolled off for that.
And there's only 2 of your models that matter now.
Yeah.
But I'm getting very concerned about the fact that if your guys come on, it's not just a question of me fighting my way out, it's that you could make me move at a very bad angle and suddenly I'm 2 or 3 extra turns because I'm in a corner. I can only turn one way. So here these advances are going, and
you can kind of already see that the end is nigh. Like, you need to get 9 models off the table to consistently win the game. Like, that's the moment of no return. That's when you know you've won because of the way the mission works, and you're pretty much at the edge already. You've got that one straggling Marine.
Yes, who I think I decide to sacrifice later.
A little bit later, you do have a runaway Space Marine, because otherwise I would have just caught you straight away. It's a reminder of what could happen.
Yes.
So, that was a pretty important role, but the next one is a much more important role. This is the one that could actually catch you.
So
I re-roll that one again.
And I agonise over this.
Yeah, you don't know whether to re-roll yours.
No.
You started with more command points than me, if I remember correctly.
You needed to spend... You needed to save one for the reinforcements.
Yeah.
To get the max reinforcements.
That was what happened.
So this is when I decide, do you know what? That guy, I don't need to get him off. He's just going to get in the way if he moves up the board.
Yeah.
And
if he moves up that Space Marine, if I move him and I move him the full 6, he's catching.
Yes.
And there's no point in trying to get in that firefight, even slightly, when that guy doesn't matter. You're just going to walk him backwards.
You heard it here. Space Marines don't matter.
Space Marines. That one Space Marine doesn't matter. Here's where you just start winning. At this point, we had definitely decided, like, you can advance as much as you like, but this game's already over.
Yeah.
We genuinely called it in 5 seconds. That was how it went.
I thought we might have to fight in the last round.
Yeah. No. And that was the battle. We hope you enjoyed that. We certainly enjoyed that.
Yeah.
Obviously, we spoke about it before as well, so let's have a quick look at what it is that we will be doing for next week,
which is targets of opportunity.
Yeah. Because of the way that the tree works, we now go down the Ultramarine symbol side, the Phobos side, which leads us to the mission target of opportunity. The Space Marine player has 3 extra command points to spend on stratagems because they won. So each player starts with 3 command points, and every model is treated. Players can use the appropriate stratagems. So you, because you won, you actually have 6 command points in this mission by the looks of the way that the rules work. Yeah, that's pretty crazy. So target of opportunity, we'll obviously go through it at length next week, but it's the Space Marines are ambushing a Venom Crawler.
Because somebody further up the food chain felt 10 light riflemen should go and try and take out a tank.
Do you know what we need for that murder tank?
What we need is...
It's made out of demons and steel.
Is people
10 rifles.
10 rifles.
10
marksmen.
Yeah, 10 snipers.
Do I have crack grenades on these guys? I think I do.
10 snipers setting up 9 inches away.
9 inches? Is that how the deployment is?
Within charge range.
This
it's a 24-inch square, and
this board is a 2-foot square.
It is a 2-foot square. That's pretty crazy.
This is going to be the story of a giant spider machine running around just tossing my men all over the place and eating them.
And it goes on for 10 rounds, so this is like a gladiatorial battle of the ages, but except it's not 2 equally pitched gladiators, it's 10 idiots and a murder machine.
I don't know what the thinking is here now. I was a bit concerned going into the last one.
Yeah.
So the marksman rifle, they have that if I roll a 6, I don't have to roll to wound.
Let's talk about this next week, shall we? Yeah, let's talk about this next week. I'm going to get murdered.
I'm going to get
at least next game I get to play.
Yes.
See you next game, everybody. Thank you.
See you next time.
Thank you for making it this far. If you've made it this far in the video, you are a true fan, a true friend. He did win. Yeah. We'll be making more of these. We'll be making them with frequency. There'll probably be a little bit of a gap after this one because we're going to need to start working in the actual studio at some point.
So that's happening.
Yeah, we're having a studio built at the moment, so that's good.
Yeah.
So yeah, if you'd like more of these, please like, comment, subscribe, the usual things that one does on the old YouTubes, and we will see you all very soon. Say goodbye, Michael.
I'll see you in the future.
Bye. This video, as with all our videos, brought to you by Ahh Geek Out, your local gaming store for all your geeky needs.